There's no escaping it. Today's economic numbers are terrible, but they have been caused by an extraordinary event. And some say once we open up again, the economy will bounce right back. Does the Chancellor agree?
There are reasons for cautious optimism, and indeed the vaccine rollout is going well. The figures from December show that there were signs of resilience in the economy. But it's important to remember also that many people have already lost their jobs as a result of what's happened. But I think we can look forward, as the vaccine is rolled out, to reopening our economy, and that hopefully can get things slowly back to normal.
But caution is still the watchword. And that suits even some whose businesses are suffering. Robert Holden built the country's biggest mobile bar to go to outdoor festivals. He got to one last year, but he still doesn't want to rush things.
Although we are socially distanced bar, we've made the bar COVID friendly. I just wouldn't feel comfortable knowing there could be a chance, especially with the new variants that are around. I'd rather sit it out and wait for things to calm down.
The Chancellor has spent billions to furlough staff and help businesses. Is that going to continue?
At the beginning of all this, you said you would do whatever it takes to support the economy. Does that principle still apply?
My overriding economic priority throughout this crisis has always been to protect as many people's jobs as possible. That is my driving force every day when I'm in this job, and that will, of course, absolutely continue.
But not everyone qualifies for furlough or business help. Mike Hampshire set himself up in Leeds as a guide for walking tours of historic pubs, and now they're all shut.
Been quite fortunate that I've been able to use some savings to be able to get through this, but the savings aren't going to last forever either. So we're coming to a phase now. I'm kind of getting a little bit desperate for either more support or things to open up.
We're promised a roadmap out of lockdown the week after next. Only then will we find out if the government's ready to begin the great reopening.
Andy's at Westminster. So Andy, the Chancellor putting a brave face on some pretty terrible figures.
Yes, but what struck me today most was how cautious the Chancellor was being, and that's because everything depends on the data that we see over the next 10 days or so. Now, as we were hearing at the top of the programme, the figures right now look pretty good. The government is feeling pretty good about what's happening with the pandemic, but they also remember what happened before Christmas when the Kent variant came along and really blew all their calculations out of the water. But they are hoping that things will stay good so that in the week beginning the February 22nd, we will hear from the Prime Minister the plan to start gradually unlocking, and at that point it is hoped that the economy will start to bounce back. Now, of course, it won't solve all the problems that have been built up over a year of the pandemic, but if that were to happen, it would be a start at least.